This is Autoline Daily, the show dedicated to all of you enthusiasts of the global automotive industry. We kick off this Monday with a lot of news about electric cars. Last week, Honda finally admitted that EVs are the future of the auto industry. This week, it's letting us peek under the tent a bit. We already knew that General Motors will build several EVs for Honda and Acura in 2024. Now we know that the Honda will be called the Prologue. Both models will be built on GM's Ultium platform, which is also being used for the new Hummer and for the electric Chevrolet pickup. In the second half of this decade, Honda will launch a new series of EVs based on a new E-architecture of its own. The electric models are part of Honda's goal to become fully electric in North America by 2040. Speaking of going all electric, Volkswagen says it's no longer going to sell internal combustion engine cars in Europe by 2035. It's aiming to have electrics account for 70% of new car sales in Europe by 2030, and by 2050, at the latest, the automaker's global fleet will be CO2 neutral. Renault just landed a deal with a Chinese battery company, Envision AESC. It's going to build a battery factory in France. Envision will spend as much as 2 billion euros on the plant, and it's going to have a capacity of 9 gigawatt hours in 2024, with a goal of hitting 24 gigawatt hours by 2030. You know, Envision AESC actually started out life as part of Nissan, but now it owns the battery plants that Nissan used to make the first generation of batteries for the Leaf. Renault also formed a partnership with a startup called Verkor to develop high-performance batteries. They'll open a pilot line next year, and then in 2026 they're going to open a plant with a capacity of 10 gigawatt hours. And Nissan is expected to announce it's going to open a battery plant in the UK sometime this week. But that's all we know for now, so we're going to have to wait for the formal announcement to learn more about it.
The age of silicones began at Wacker more than 70 years ago. Whether you're looking for thermal management of battery systems or the protection of electronics, let your innovations be powered by Wacker Silicones. Visit us at wacker.com. E-mobility, powered by Wacker Silicones.
Mobility is becoming electric, connected, and autonomous, just like the manufacturing world. But will always be one thing: a reliable partner for our customers.
Ward's Intelligence is forecasting that new car sales in the U.S. for June will be down. But that's not because consumer demand is dropping, just the opposite. Demand is sky high, but automakers just can't make enough new cars and trucks fast enough because of the chip shortage. While the seasonally adjusted sales rate hit a strong 18.4 million units in March and April, the SAAR is going to drop to only 15.8 million for June, and Ward's doesn't see any improvement for months to come. So, with demand high and supply low, you know what that means, don't you? Prices are going through the roof. New car sales in China are also getting hammered by the chip shortage. They're probably going to drop nearly 5% compared to a year ago, according to the China Passenger Car Association. It says Chinese consumers will buy just under 1.6 million new vehicles. To supercharge its development of artificial intelligence, Tesla built its own supercomputer. You may have already heard that it's probably the 5th fastest supercomputer in the world. Well, NVIDIA just released some of the details because its GPUs, called the A100, are at the heart of the system. They provide up to 20x higher performance than before. Many of you Tesla fans already know there's a neural network running in shadow mode in all of Tesla's cars, and that captures data and makes predictions while the car is driving without actually controlling the vehicle. These predictions are recorded, and any mistakes or misidentifications are logged. Tesla engineers then use these events to train the neural network in how to deal with difficult driving situations. The neural network then runs through all these scenarios over and over again until it operates without a mistake. Then it's sent back to the vehicle and begins the process all over again. But all this means that they have to capture a ton of data, 1.5 petabytes. That's about 1.5 million gigabytes. That takes massive computing power, and that's why Tesla built its own supercomputer.
The world is changing at an ever-increasing pace. No matter what the mode of transportation, there is always the need for an efficient propulsion system. And that's exactly what BorgWarner has been doing since the earliest days of the automotive industry.
We want to know what drives your testing. OTA, connected car, diagnostics, remote testing. Intrepid Control Systems is here to help you work from anywhere. Intrepid Control Systems, driven by your data.
One of the ways to make cars and trucks more sustainable is to make them with biomaterials. Those are materials that are made from fibers, from plants. And that's the topic on the latest episode of Autoline This Week. I asked Dr. Mohini Sain from the University of Toronto, what are some of the best applications of components that can be made from biomaterials? Take a look.
This is a engine beauty cover, as you can see here, right? So this is actually made from fiberglass in normal way. But here we did not use any fiberglass. We use microfiber from the forest resources, and it allows two things. One is it reduces the weight, it increases the green carbon content inside, and also it allows much more noise and vibration resistance. For example, normally you will have this with a foam. You can see that?
Yeah.
Now, this particular material you can use without even foaming application in that. So inbuilt, it can give you a property which will allow you to get less vibration and noise when you are using for engine cover, engine beauty cover, for example.
You know, that engine cover is intriguing. Lighter, less NVH, and because you can get rid of that foam backing, it's cheaper. There's a lot more fascinating information about biomaterials and biocomposites that you can learn about on that show, and it's available to watch right now on our website or our YouTube channel. You know, we get a lot of the best insiders in the industry to come on our shows. And if you'd like to learn more about the new Ford Maverick pickup truck, join us this Thursday for Autoline After Hours. We've got Trevor Scott, the marketing manager, and Chris Mazer, the chief program engineer, coming on the show to talk all about the Maverick. And if you've got a question that you would like us to ask them, tweet it to us or drop an email to viewermail@autoline.tv. Say, do you have any automotive memorabilia hanging around the house? Well, don't dump it. It could be worth something. That's according to H&H Classics, which is a UK auction house that's dedicated to collector cars and collector motorcycles. Over the weekend, it held an auction for automotive collectibles, and the pieces brought in more than 156,000 pounds sterling. That's more than $217,000. Some of the items included this Morgan pedal car, which sold for $1,600. This Steve McQueen artwork sold for about $1,500, and this vintage hand-operated gasoline pump fetched $2,700. So the next time you're cleaning out your attic or your basement, you better think twice about throwing out any of that memorabilia. And that wraps up today's report. Thanks for watching.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Intrepid Control Systems, over-the-air engineering, boost your game. BorgWarner, propulsion solutions that support a clean, energy-efficient world. Schaeffler, we pioneer motion. And by Wacker, creating tomorrow's solutions.